Hi everyone, this is Professor Mayunga and you are watching ERUDIRE Plus, the professional CAD/CAM solution provider. Let's get started. Hello viewers, this is our 26th exercise and we'll be modeling this one using Autodesk Fusion 360. Here we are having 5 different views. Together with the normal views, we are having one extra sectional view also, right? This is the top one, this is front, this is side, and this is the asymmetric one, and this is the sectional one extra. And from these sketches, it is evident that it is better to start from the front view. So initially we'll start sketching this one, and that to be extruded to a depth of 10 millimeter. Next to that, we'll draw this circular portion, and that to be extruded to a depth of 3 millimeter. And next to that, we need to create one plane which is parallel to this one at a distance of 30 millimeter away, and on that plane we'll sketch this cylindrical portion, and that to be extruded to a specific depth. So without wasting time, let's start our modeling using Autodesk Fusion 360. First of all, we need to create a new design, and we can save it with the name of exercise 26 to a specific folder by the name of Fusion. Let us save it. You can see that exercise 26 is saved already. Let us see the drawing again. So we need to start from this one, and initially without having a specific dimension, we'll draw one rough sketch, and that will be provided with exact dimensions later on, right? So initially draw this one on the front plane, right? So start sketching on front plane, start creating lines from here. We are drawing this one at random, and later on we can provide smart dimension to this one, right? Initially we're drawing at random, and later on we'll provide the smart dimension to this one as per exact dimensions, right? Now let us see the actual dimensions from the YGL drawing. This length will be 42.86 millimeter, and this one is 14.28. Smart dimension. This one is 42.86, and this one is 14.28, and this angle will be actually 135 degree. This one will be at a height of 15.2 millimeter. This height will be 15.2 millimeter, and this line will be actually 29.9 millimeter. This one will be 29.9 millimeter, and this distance is 8.3, and this is 10. So from here to here is 8.3, and this one will be 10 millimeter. And you can see the angle in between. The angle is 134.8 degree, right? The angle, this one is 134.8 degree. Okay, and also the length is from here to here, the length is 45.84 millimeter. Length is 45.84 millimeter. The angle is not required, actually it will be completely redundant. So the sketch is complete, and we need to extrude this one to a depth of 10 millimeter, right? Let us see the drawing again. This need to be extruded to a depth of 10 millimeter, and we can extrude this one from middle plane, and it will be extruded symmetrically, right? So finish the sketch, and that to be extruded. So starting with extrusion from here, and from direction we'll select this one to be symmetric, and the thing is, instead of half length, we'll measure this one to be whole length to be extruded to a depth of 10 millimeter. Done. Now on this face we need to draw some concentric circles. Let us select that face and start sketching on that. Initially we'll draw 2 concentric circles at random, right? Later on we'll provide the smart dimension to this one. Let us see the dimensions of these circles. This is having diameter 10.1 millimeter and 27.4 millimeter, which is symmetric along this line, and it is at a distance of 22.8 millimeter from extreme left hand side. So smart dimension from here to here, this one is 22.8 millimeter, and this one will be symmetric along this line, so we can make one construction line here, and these dimensions also need to be provided. These are having diameters 10.1 and 27.4 millimeter. This is 27.4 millimeter. These circles are actually symmetric along this line, so we need to provide one construction line. For line as a shortcut, let us hit L and we can make any line. Done. To make this line construction, select that line and write X. So this is a construction line, right? Now we need to provide that the distance from here to here, it will be actually 5 millimeter. Let us provide smart dimension. The distance from here to here, it will be 5 millimeter. The dimensions are fully defined. It is black. Now this one can be extruded to a specific depth, right? Let us freeze the sketch and you can see how much to be extruded, right? You see the drawing. This one needs to be extruded by a depth of 3 millimeter, right? So starting with extrusion, select that specific areas, and that needs to be extruded in the upward direction by a depth of 3 millimeter. Write 3, enter, done. Now the difficult part is remaining. Here we need to provide one cylindrical object. Let us see the model again. Now parallel to this object, we need to make a plane at a distance of 30 millimeter, and on that plane we need to construct concentric circles of diameter 14 and 20 millimeter, right? So let us select that specific face. From here 40 millimeter away, we need to create one plane. So construct an offset plane, and it will be 30 millimeter from this one in the opposite direction, right? So you can write minus 30 millimeter. Done. Plane is made. Now on that plane, we need to construct two concentric circles of specific dimensions. Select that plane and start sketching on that. We need to put two concentric circles, and that will be symmetric, of course, definitely. So we can select some construction line here again. And we can make this line construction. So select the line again and X. It is a construction line. Now we can draw some circles. Let us see the location of the circles, right? So the plane is made. On that plane, we need to draw two concentric circles of diameter 20 and 14 millimeter. Right? This is the plane, right? So let's start sketching circles. It will be concentric circles. We are drawing the circles at any arbitrary position, and that will be provided specific dimensions later on, right? Let us see the drawing again. You can see the dimension of this one is 14 and 20 millimeter, and the center of this one will be 10 millimeter from top side. The center of the circle will be 10 millimeter away from the top line here, right? So we can put smart dimension to this one. From here to here, this one will be 10 millimeter. We can put smart dimension. This is 20, and this one will be 14 millimeter, right? Done. And again, this will be symmetric with respect to this line, right? So we can put smart dimension will be 5 millimeter. Done. Now the drawing is completely defined. Now we need to extrude this one to a specific depth, right? So finish the sketch, and we need to extrude this one to a specific depth, right? So start with extrusion. Select the specific areas that to be extruded up to the surface. Let us see the drawing again. That to be extruded up to the back surface, and from distance you can select to object up to this one, it will be extruded. And in the operation, we are not cutting this one, it will be added with the paint material. So we are joining this one, right? Done. Now here in this case, you can see this is not completely perfect because some material to be removed again here also. So what we'll do is, let us start sketching on that plane. Starting with sketch, and we'll remove that specific material from here, right? Let us span this one and start sketching circle on that. Initially we are drawing arbitrary circles. Later on we'll provide the smart dimensions. can see the dimensions of this one. This one will be 14 millimeter and outside will be 20 millimeter. This is 14 millimeter smart dimension. This one is 14 millimeter and this one is 20 millimeter. Done. And again we can join these two because we need to remove this material again, right? So start with line and select the edges from here. Drawing is complete. Now finish the sketch and that material to be removed, right? So starting with extrusion again, and let us select specific areas to be removed. By control we can select multiple edges, multiple faces, and this one to be extruded in the opposite direction, and we are removing material, right? This will be extruded up to a specific distance, and you can select here up to object, and direction will be this one and object will be this part, and the operation is cut, right? So material is removed. You see that this is our object, right? And to provide appearance, let us hit A, and as this is a single body, you can put a single color to this one. You can put this one metallic appearance. Let us select metal and we'll provide metal coatings of titanium nitride provided. Let's close this one, right? This is our model. So this was a very simple model, and initially we started sketching on the front plane, and that was extruded to a specific depth of 10 millimeter. Next to that, on this plane we provided these concentric circles, and that was extruded to a depth of 3 millimeter. And finally we created one plane at this location which is 30 millimeter away from this plane, and on that plane we provided these concentric circles, and that was extruded to the extreme right hand side. Some extra unwanted material was there, and that was removed again by extrusion. Okay, so with this one we'll conclude our 26th exercise. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you again. Bye. If you like this video, please subscribe and share, and if you have any kind of doubts, please write to me. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you again. Bye.